This is First Coast Math Clinic with Lesson 6, Finding Slopes of Vertical and Horizontal Lines from Unit 7, Graphing. So the goal in this video is to find the slope of vertical and horizontal lines. So just a quick review. In the previous video, we looked at graphing horizontal and vertical lines. So horizontal lines, go left to right, vertical lines go up and down, and our horizontal lines have equations y equals a number. So y equals 6, y equals -4. So y equals 6. We'll find 6 on the y-axis, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we're going to draw a horizontal line. So this is y equals 6. And y equals -4. We'll find -4, 1, 2, 3, 4 on the y-axis. So again, this is our y-axis. So this is y equals -4. Our vertical lines are going to look something like x equals a number. So x equals 2. So this is our x-axis, and this is our positive direction. This is our negative direction. So we'll find +2, so 1, 2. And we're going to draw a vertical line. So this is x equals 2, then x equals -3. So move 3 units in a negative direction, 1, 2, 3. And this is x equals -3. Okay, so what's the slope of these lines, right? Because this horizontal line and the vertical lines have slopes. So how do we find the slope of those lines? Let's get into that. So let's find the slope of our horizontal line first. So this is the graph of y equals 6, and I'm going to pick 2 points here. So I'll pick this point right here. So this is -1, 6, and I'll pick this point right here. This is 3, 6. Okay, so we know our equation for our formula for slope is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. That's going to give us our m value, our slope. So our coordinates, -1, 6, and 3, 6. I could have picked any 2 points on this line. I just chose -1, 6, and 3, 6. So I'm going to choose -1 and 6 as x2, y2, and 3, 6 as x1, y1. So let's do our subtraction. 6 minus 6, y2 minus y1, over x2 minus x1. 6 minus 6 is 0. 1 minus 3, use our subtraction rule, this becomes keep, change, change. So we get -4 in our denominator. Now, it doesn't matter what our denominator is here. If 0 is in our numerator, the answer here is going to be 0. So our slope is 0. So this gives us our rule for the slope of a horizontal line. The slope of any horizontal line where we have the same y value, all right? Because we notice here from our points, our y values are the same, is going to be 0. All right, so for any horizontal line, our slope is going to be 0. All right, let's get into vertical lines. So we've got our vertical line here, and our equation is x equals -2. So let's find 2 points on this line. So here we'll do, this will be -2, -2. And this point right here, and actually y is positive, so that should be +2. So I'll make that positive. And let's pick this point down here. So x is -2, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Y is -5. Remember, we're in quadrant 3, so we should have negative. All right, so it's going to be a -5. So my ordered pairs, -2, 2, and -2, -5. Again, my formula, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So we'll do x2, y2, x1, y1. So we'll do the difference of our y's. So 2 minus -5 over x2, which is negative 2, minus x1. Use our subtraction rule, so keep, change, change, keep, change, change. We'll get 7 over negative 2 plus positive 2, which is 0. So now we've got 7 over 0. Whenever we have a fraction with 0 in the denominator, that's always going to be undefined. Okay, so the slope of our vertical line, where we have the same x value, okay, is always going to be undefined. So again, notice that our x values here are the same x value, is always going to be undefined. So let's get into some examples where we find our slope of vertical and horizontal lines. All right, so for number 1, we've got x equals negative 5. So let's graph that on our coordinate plane. Let's find negative 5. So again, this is our x-axis. This is our y-axis. The negative direction, that's a positive direction. So negative 5 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we know this is going to be a vertical line. So the slope of our vertical line is going to be undefined, okay, because we have the same x values and we know it's a vertical line. Number 2, y equals 4, so let's find 4 on the y-axis. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is y equals 4, so this is a horizontal line. So it's a horizontal line. This is vertical. So we know the slope of our horizontal line, m, is going to equal 0. All right, so once we identify it as horizontal or vertical, we don't have to do any calculations. We know that our slope has to be 0 or our slope has to be undefined if it's horizontal or vertical. All right, what about number 3? Well, for number 3, we notice we have the same x values. And since we have the same x values, 1 and 1 here, we know that, well, what kind of line does that make it? Does that make it a vertical line or horizontal line? If we have the same x values, it has to be a vertical line. So the slope has to be undefined. All right, so we're going to get a vertical line there. All right, and if we plot those points, 1, 5, so x is 1, y is 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 1, 7. All right, so if we just kind of draw in the larger line, we've got our vertical line there. That's number 3. And then number 4, we notice we have the same y values. All right, negative 8, negative 8. Since we have the same y values, this has to be a horizontal line. Since it's a horizontal line, our slope is going to be 0, right? So if we plot these points, so we're at negative 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're going to be down here, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So our line's going to look something like this. Okay. All right, so we don't have to do a whole lot of calculations with this once you identify if your line is a horizontal line or a vertical line. Remember, if it's horizontal, your slope is going to be 0. If it's vertical, you're going to get an undefined slope. Okay. All right, so this was lesson 6, find the slope of vertical and horizontal lines from unit 6, graphing. If you like this video, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. First Coast Math Clinic.